going to show you how to make a coat with dolman sleeves and gussets. This is the pattern made when making a Ferragamo style coat with a pattern. You can easily make such patterns on the basis of your measurements. You don't need the basic pattern to do it. You can use the basic pattern if you have one, but it's not necessary. This is how the pattern for the sleeve looks like. Such sleeves can be made only in pretty loose white coats. There are no darts in the sleeve. As I've already said, the sleeve is pretty loose, just like the coat. Have a look at me. This is my favorite coat. It was made on the basis of this pattern. Notice that the coat is pretty loose. What I want to say is that sometimes we want to make coats without the seams here. This is what the dolman sleeves are for. Anyway, in garments with dolman sleeves, these parts are pretty loose. This coat is of different style. Today I'm going to show you how to adjust this pattern into the one for the coat with dolman sleeves and gussets. I know that there are different ways for making sleeves with gussets. I believe that the one I'm going to show you is the most convenient one. I honestly think that making such sleeves on the basis of a basic pattern is too complicated. I will show you how to make a coat on the basis of a pattern for coats with dolman sleeves. These are the front, the back, and the sleeve. The technique I'm going to show you today can be found in any books. I came up with it myself. You may think that there are better ways to do it. You are more than welcome to try. I'm just showing you the techniques I use myself. As you already know, I prefer fast and easy ways of work. I don't like complicated techniques. They are usually not worth wasting my time. First, we need to adjust the sleeve pattern. I need to cut about 5 or 7 millimeters here, just like when sewing regular sleeves. The width of the opening should be not more than 1.5 centimeters. Next, I need to cut the pattern in half. I need to do it because I'll be working with the front and the back details separately. I'll put the back part of the sleeve on the back detail and the front part of the sleeve on the right detail. Next, I need to attach the sleeve to the front. The technique is similar to the one we use when making regular sleeves. Notice that the details cross. It's okay. The most important thing is that these openings should be even. Do not attach the detail this way or that. The opening should be even. When you attach the details to each other with a sticky tape, mark the point where the details cross. Here it is. Next, I need to draw a straight line down from this point and cut it. The cut detail should be signed. I remind you that these are dolman sleeves. Notice that I haven't changed the upper part of the sleeve. The front and the sleeve details cross here. Next, we need to fold the sleeve and attach this detail here. Make sure that the marked points match. The line should be straight. Please be very attentive. Have a look here once again. I cut this detail from the sleeve. I'll make these points more vivid. You need to cut this piece, fold the sleeve this way, and attach the cut detail here. Make sure that the marked points match. Do not try to close this opening. This opening will be used for these.
Вот так вот.
I basically just moved the cut detail up.
Этот рукав у нас вот в эту часть и вошьется, видите, да?
I need to attach these two details to each other with the sticky tape. This is what I put this piece here for. This line should be straight. We show you a lot of useful techniques which we create in my fashion house. I need to mark the point where the coat actually starts. Next, I need to measure and mark about 9 or 8 centimeters down from this point. This number depends on your pattern. I think that in my case, 7 centimeters would be enough. I measured and marked 7 centimeters down from this point. Next, I need to connect these 2 points with a straight line. The techniques you can find in books are much more complicated. This is the sleeve detail and this is the front detail. I remind you that there was an opening here. I cut the detail from the sleeve, turned it and attached to the side seam. I'll sign that this is the front detail of the sleeve with the gusset. Have a look here. I'm going to cut this detail next. This is going to be just one detail. I'll make an opening here in order to be able to attach a gusset. I'll show you everything when I start cutting.
Даже специальные вот ставьте отметочки, чтобы понимали. Передняя часть рукава.
The front detail for the sleeve with the gusset is ready. The front itself is also ready. There will be no opening here. The techniques I'm showing you in this video are very useful. These are the front and the front detail for the sleeve with the gusset. Let's move on to working with the back. Where I cut the same detail at the back, I'll attach them to each other. There will be no seam here. I can move the patterns for the front details aside. I need to attach the sleeve to the back the same way. Next, I need to mark the point where the details cross. After that, I need to cut a part of the sleeve, just like I did it with the front part of the sleeve. I'll sign that this is the back detail of the sleeve. Next, I need to measure and mark 7 centimeters down from this point. This measurement should be even in the front and the back.
7 сантиметров, точно так же, как и в полочке.
These points should match just like the notches on the waist.
Точка начала ластовицы должны совпасть.
Next, we need to connect these 2 points with a straight line.
Точку 7 с точкой, где у нас пересеклись рукав с полочкой. точно.
I'll sign the side seam.
Отрезаем.
I can cut this detail now. If I added 8 or 9 centimeters here, this opening would have been bigger. It would be more convenient for me to sew in this case. Anyway, I'll manage to do it the way it is. I'll make a tiny seam here. You can make the opening bigger. Cut 8 or 9 centimeters from the side seam. Remember that practice makes perfect. This is the back pattern. And this is the front pattern. I remind you that these are dolman sleeves. Next, I need to make a pattern for the gusset. I need to attach the side seam to the side seam. Make sure that the details match. I didn't sign this detail, but this is also the side seam. This part will be inserted in the side seam of the coat. Notice that this angle is too long. We don't need it, so we can cut it. Of course, I could make a new pattern for this detail. I'm not going to do it. I think that I'll manage to work with it this way. When making a pattern for this detail, do not be afraid of cutting all the extra pieces, like the angle which I cut. This is the lower part of the sleeve, and this is the gusset which will be inserted in the coat. I remind you that we cut the small pieces from the side seams. I cut the small details from the side seams both from the front and from the back. As I've already told you, I have Max Mara coat. They use very interesting techniques. Maybe I'll show it to you one day. I learned a lot of useful and interesting information when I visited their exhibition in Moscow. This is the pattern for the lower part of the sleeve, which turns into the gusset. This is the back, and this is the front. I can start cutting the coat. I remind you that when making garments with dolman sleeves, we need to use more fabric than usual. I recommend buying 2 lengths of fabric. In this case, you will have enough fabric for facing, collar, and the other small details. I can start cutting now. If you manage to make a pattern, you won't have any problems later. It's a pleasure to work with an accurate pattern. You don't need to worry about whether a garment will fit you or not, whether the details are accurate or not. You just need to add some for the seams when cutting. That's it. Watch what I'm doing. Do not forget to make notches on the waistline. I'll show you what to do next. When you reach this point, just make a cut here. You don't need to make an opening. This cut will serve both as a seam and as a notch. I learned this technique from Max Mara. I visited their exhibition in Moscow a couple of years ago. They shared some very useful techniques with the audience. There was a dummy with a coat on it, and there was a huge screen behind it. They showed the video on making on the coat. This is when I saw this amazing technique.
Ты трогал рукав, ластовицу, и показывалось целое кино, как делать ластовицу. И я вот этот момент научилась у Максмары. Ничего тут не
I'm cutting the sleeve.
Просто делаю надрезик. Чуть-чуть.
I'll add a couple of centimeters to the length of the sleeve.
Просто так.
Notice that I also made the front and the back 4 centimeters longer. The center front is drawn with a green marker pen. That means that I can cut right along the pattern. I added 3 centimeters to the center front. Watch what I'm doing once again. I'm just cutting this detail. This cut will also serve as a notch. In this case, I need to make a tiny opening here. This is how it looks like. It's just a couple of millimeters wide. I'm happy that I'm showing you how to make sleeves with gussets. I had to work really hard to prepare this video for you. I'm sure that I'm showing you the most simple way of making such sleeves. Do not forget to make notches on the waistline. When I finish cutting the center front, I'll cut the gusset. This is the front. And this is the back. I love the fact that I showed you my Ferragamo style coat first. You'll see that this one fits me absolutely the same. I remind you that I'm making this coat on the basis of the same pattern.
Точно так же на мне сидит, точно так же. Вот так, немножечко.
I'll make this detail a bit tighter at the bottom. The gusset is ready. I cut all the needed details. I want every one of you to learn to work fast and easy. It's not right to sew one and the same garment for a very long time. By the time it's ready, you wouldn't want to wear it. When you learn to work fast and easy, you'll enjoy the process. These are the front details. I've already made the space and seams on the center front. I've also tacked the center back. The most important thing I want to show you today is how to tack these details. I marked the wrong sides and made the notches on the front sides. The details are almost symmetric. These sides are just a bit longer. They might be symmetric in your case. I want to tack the side seams first, insert the gussets in them, and then tack the sleeves. I think that this is the most convenient way of working. Let's start taking the side seams. I want to make sure that you see everything clearly. I put the back on the table face up. I need to tack the side seams face to face. Notice that all the details match. I need to tack the side seams up to the points where the gussets should be inserted. I'm making the coat of modeling fabric. When making a garment, you need to double the details before taking them for the fitting. You need to make absolutely sure that the details are even before taking them. I decided not to double the fabric for the fitting because I didn't want to waste time. I'm making this coat just for the tutorial. The main purpose of these videos is to show you how to make gussets in the coats. Sometimes it takes me really long to prepare for shooting some tutorials. Sometimes ideas for the new tutorials come to me accidentally and I shoot the videos right away. Sometimes I get new ideas from fashion books and magazines. I've showed you how to make a coat without the basic pattern. This is the second coat I'm making using this technique. I think that it's very useful. Use your imagination. You can create a lot of different designs on the basis of this pattern. The first side seam is ready. This is how it looks like now. Next, I'll tack the second side seam. After that, I'll insert the gussets in the side seams. I'm taking the second side seam. The side seams are ready. Next, I need to tack the gussets. I want to lay the coat on the table this way for you to see everything clearly. These are the back and the front. These are the face sides. That means that this detail should also be laid face up. I remind you that I made a notch on the front side. I can start taking the details now. The angle in the sleeve should match the angle in the gusset. I'll pin them. I remind you that I made the sleeves a bit longer. I added the extensions by side. You can make more checkpoints, notches, or draw the check marks with a piece of chalk if you're not confident enough. I'll show you how the details should look like when I finish taking them. The detail should match the same way on the other side.
Вот с этим уголком.
Very nice.
Это что-то с одной
I need to make the line straight. I'm showing you how to tack the gussets very thoroughly for you to see everything clearly.
Ну и, конечно, когда вы
When I show you the tacked coat, you'll understand what I'm doing now.
вы лучше будете понимать. Косой немножко.
The sides were cut on a bias, so I need to be very accurate when taking them.
Вот самый вот этот уголок нашей ластовицы.
That's it. This is how the details look like from the wrong side.
Вот наша ластовица с изнанки. Вот наша ластовица с лица. Вот часть.
This is the detail which I wanted to show you. It's inserted in the side seam. Next, I'll tack the second detail.
Мне кажется,
I hope that everything is clear so far.
Что это такое, как это есть.
I remind you that I'm taking the details to each other face to face. This is where the gusset should be inserted. When I finish taking it, the only details left to be tacked will be the shoulder seams. Next, I need to tack the second side.
Вот видите, да?
This is how the detail looks like now. Pin the angles first. I'm showing you the most simple way of making gussets. Notice that the details match perfectly. That's it. I'll tack the shoulder seams next. The seams are just tacked. They are not ironed or steamed. They will look much better when I do it. I'm taking the shoulder seams. I remind you that in this coat, the shoulders turn into the sleeves. I'll take the second shoulder off the camera. Have a look at me. I'm wearing the tacked coat. The seams are not ironed yet. Have a look at the gussets. This is how they should look like. They were inserted in the side seams. Notice that there are no seams here. I remind you that these are dolman sleeves. What makes them different from the regular dolman sleeves is that these parts are not baggy. I'm sure that most of you will manage to make such sleeves. That's all for today. I hope that you like my tutorials. Be different and beautiful. My name is Paukshte Irina. Subscribe to my channel, write comments, share videos, press the like and the bell buttons. I really need your support. Thank you. Goodbye.